my name is Caroline Santa Maria and my presentation is on the Zika virus. Imagine dreaming of your child being a star soccer player and living his or her life to the fullest. Now imagine a life where you are stripped of that dream and replaced with one where you just hope your child can just walk and talk. This unfortunate event could happen to you or your neighbor and you probably wouldn't even know about it until it was too late. This nightmare could happen to any of us because of the re-emerging Zika virus. It is for that reason that if we want to avoid this nightmare from becoming a reality, we need to educate ourselves and act against this virus. I personally became interested in the topic of Zika virus after hearing about it so much on the news and on social media. When I asked my friends and family what they thought about the virus, they didn't really know much about it other than that it's just transmitted by a mosquito. That got me a little bit on edge and I decided to do some research and then I decided to present it to you guys so that you guys can stay safe and protect yourselves. So in today's presentation, I will first explain what the Zika virus is, how it's transmitted, and then finish off by giving you guys a few tips on how to protect yourselves from the virus. So, let's begin this presentation by starting to discuss some of the basics of the Zika virus. So, as we all know, this virus is a vector-borne disease that is carried by the Aedes aegypti species mosquito. According to Lucia Beshik of Medical Daily, this disease was first encountered by researchers many years ago in one of the many forests of Uganda during a routine surveillance of the yellow fever. And since then, the disease has spread to seemingly all over the world. Currently, there is no vaccine and there's no treatment, but thankfully, the CDC has declared this a non-life-threatening disease. Now that we've covered some of the foundations of the virus, let's talk about transmission. So aside from the traditional transmission that we all know, which is getting bit by a mosquito, there are other ways that you can get this virus. One of the most common ways, and not many people know about this, is through sexual transmission. So if you do have unprotected sex with a partner that is infected with the Zika virus, there's a high chance that you will also become infected. According to the World Health Organization, the Zika virus can live in semen and vaginal fluids for a very long time. Specifically in the semen, the virus can live up to 6 months. Also, another mode of transmission is from a mother's womb to the fetus. So let's say that there's a mother that's 3 months pregnant and she decides to go to Brazil. In Brazil, she gets bitten by a mosquito that carries the Zika virus. Unfortunately, now the baby is at risk to getting the virus because the Zika virus is permeable through the placenta. Another possible way that you can get the Zika virus is through a blood transfusion. Though it is uncommon, it is a possibility that you can get the Zika virus, but there are no cases to this day of acquiring the Zika virus through blood transmission. And on a large scale, the Aedes aegypti species mosquito cannot fly for a longer length than 400 meters. So thankfully, the threat is eliminated from state to state transmission. The mosquito cannot fly for long periods of time, so we're safe on that aspect. Now that we have learned what Zika is and how it's transmitted, let's look at the disastrous potential the virus has. So unfortunately, with every disease, there are symptoms. Thankfully, about 20% of people that are infected with the Zika virus only experience symptoms. So some of the symptoms would include fever, rash, joint pain, diarrhea, muscle pain, conjunctivitis, all that kind of good stuff. Unfortunately, the symptoms only last for 2 to 7 days. And according to the CDC, it is not the Zika virus is not a cause for death is not a cause for concern in adults. Unfortunately, it is a cause for concern in children. 5 babies that were born in September 2016 unfortunately died because of all their mutations. So Zika is most widely associated and recognized for the many defects that it causes babies. So microcephaly is the most common one that we all know about. Microcephaly is when a baby's head is up to 2 standard deviations smaller than that of a healthy child's head. So since the child has a smaller head, the child will also have a smaller brain. If you have a smaller brain, you don't give the brain much space to grow, and the parietal and the frontal lobes and all the other lobes won't be able to develop properly, and then your child will be held back. Children that do have microcephaly have a hard time eating, speaking, hearing, seeing, walking, and talking. It's just not a good life to live if you are born to microcephaly. Another Another associated effect of Zika on children is the Guillain-Barré syndrome. This one is a little bit more uncommon, but still pretty dangerous. This is a sickness of the nervous system. The person's own immune system attacks their nerve cells, so this will cause muscle weakness and weakness in the arms and the legs. And then in extreme cases, which is really, really scary, the child may lose control over the muscles that govern breathing. So your child could just stop breathing because of Zika. Now that you've heard how scary this virus is, you're probably thinking, how can I protect myself and my family from getting this virus? Well, it's pretty simple. You can wear long sleeve shirts and jeans and protect yourself from getting bit. Another way is that you can get bug spray and just spray yourself all over, and then no bug's going to want to bite you. And also, on a larger aspect, you can, if you're ever walking down the street and you see like a bucket or a cup of water or like a little wrapper that has a little bit of water on it, spill it over, kick it over. If you do spill over the water, then the mosquito will not have any breeding grounds, and you're essentially cutting the enemy off at the beginning. Like they won't be able to breed anymore, and then thus you won't be able to contract the virus any longer. So, in conclusion, Zika is a cruel emerging virus that, if left unquestioned, can disrupt our lives and cause thousands of birth defects in our children. In my presentation, I touched base on what Zika is, how it is transmitted, and some of its common effects on our population, and some tips on preventing the spread of Zika in our community. If you dream of a normal life with your healthy children, I strongly urge you to do your share in the community and prevent Zika from further spreading and tampering with our future. It's up to all of us to work together and eradicate the disease before it gets momentum. Thank you.